What's your favorite move? What do you got?
I'm not gonna. So I really do want to pick the Gressa one. I'm not gonna pick it though because it's not final yet. But I would really love that one. I think that would be awesome. I feel like he would fit in really well there, and he just doesn't fit in with the Miami mold. But the pick I'm going to go with, and I think it's a little bit of picking the easy pick here, but I'm gonna go with Noel Buck off to San Jose. I think he needed a change up big time ever since Bruce was gone. And who better to correct the course on the Noel Buck train than Bruce himself? The man who started the train is now back as the conductor. And they got him for only 650K GAM or whatever it was. No, it was cash for players. 650K? That feels like a steal for a guy who was like talked about for multi-millions at one point. So I think, he goes back to a coach he's familiar with, probably playing in a more familiar system in let's be honest, a better situation, which is shocking to say considering how bad San Jose were last year. Um, and I think you're talking about a situation here where San Jose's looking like they could buy low on Noel Buck and possibly turn him around and sell him for millions again. I mean, he's got time to develop and still be worth multi-millions. And I think Bruce is the guy in charge that could get him to that place. So I love this move for them. I mean, even the play on the field, I mean, that would be helpful. Obviously, if you turn him around, he's going to play well for San Jose and be a big help in that midfield. So loving this move for them.
Yeah, I've got a whole little thing about that down at the bottom, but I agree, right? I think he goes back to a familiar area, and by that I mean a familiar team, right? He's got a coach that he knows. Pretty much the entire team is who he played with last year, so he's in good shape there. And again, I think the style and the way they play, he just has the ability to fit into any mold, right? And I firmly believe that if he is under Bruce's guidance, he will come back into the form that he needs to be in. But I'm gonna put this out there, and you can clip it and save it forever if you really want to. Willie Agada to RSL is going to be the revival story of the century. Am I saying that just to save face on my 2023 Golden Boot prediction? Maybe.
You got to move on from that already. You got to move on
Maybe.
already.
But you know what? I'm going to stand by it because RSL has significantly better service to the nine than Kansas City had. You have Goncalves, you've got Marzchuk, you've got Luna, who are going to just be feeding Agata all day long. His strength and his speed and his underlying numbers. I saw Matt Doyle post about his underlying numbers. I mean, they are top tier. He didn't get a lot of the end product, but he's doing all the things right to get there. And this is a system that desperately needed a nine. We talked about it coming into preseason. We talked about it during the not so deep dives. That was the big question. What are they going to do? They were after Agata for such a long time. They were trying to bring him in, trying to bring him in. They finally get the deal done, and I'm hyped because if you look back under Pablo Mastroeni since he took over officially in RSL, he makes strikers perform. Since 2021, which is when he took over the last 4 years, only once in a season did he fail to have a striker score double-digit goals. 2021, it was Damir Krylak, and you can argue Albert Rusnak because Trent, who scored, had him as a striker. So, but Damir Krylak had 16 goals, Rusnak had 11. Anderson Julio also had 9 in 1,100 minutes. The next year, Sergio Cordova had 11. And then last year, Chicho Aranjo had 17 on top of Andres Gomez at 13, and Anderson Julio at 9. This is a system that is really good for strikers. They figure out the ways to get them the ball and they give them chances to score. I believe in Willie Agada's ability to score goals. I believe in the ability of the system to get him the ball. I am all aboard the Willie Agada hype train once again.
You're such a fraud for that take. You're such a
It's not
cop
a
out. Just
broad
trying to.
take.
It's a fraud take because you're just trying to redeem yourself for saying that he was going to win the Golden Boot after he performed for 900 minutes and you were sold. You were like, this is
Oh
the
yeah,
guy.
you want to talk about that? How'd your St. Louis pick go this year?
We're like 8 games into the season. Like there's plenty of time to turn it around still.
Yeah, get out of here.
I mean, I listen, I don't want to get on the bad side of RSL fans, but I can't say that I'm thrilled about this move considering I mean I get the conversation you have in terms of him being like the underlying numbers being good. Like the dude generated 14.6 XG. Like that's crazy. He was in
Literally.
great spots. But his finishing was awful. His finishing was like he was secretly playing for Red Bull. Like you got 10 goals on 14.6 XG. That's terrible. And I mean, I saw some of your interactions online and I mean, the KC fans were like, yeah, he was terrible for us last year, and it's like now RSL's paying up to 850,000 in I probably GAM to bring him in, which just feels like a bit of an overpay. I mean, I know there's potential there, but and I agree that he would have better service in RSL, but I mean, the service is only useful if he's going to actually put away the goals, which he didn't really do last season and hasn't really done outside of the half season he had his first year with SKC, where he was pretty much playing with, I would say, no pressure because KC were terrible that year. So I can't say I feel as optimistic as you do on this one. I think you're just trying to redeem yourself from your previous Willie Agada prediction by doubling down on it, which is certainly interesting.
First off, get offline. Get off Twitter. You don't belong on Twitter. That's not for you. This isn't for you, okay? Second of all, stop being a hater, okay? Stop thinking that you are going to figure out all the right answers and be all big and smart because you're not. But I will clip it and make sure that we remember these silly little thoughts that you had. How's that?
Okay, that
Okay.
works. That works
Good.
with me.